Well, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or evening, or whenever you're watching this. Happy New Year to everyone. We are now in 2023, which if you add those all up, see 1, 2, carry the 5, 7. 7 is a great number. 7 is the enlightened number, the higher intention number, the woke number. I have a feeling and I have a prediction of going forward that all of this enlightenment will suffocate all of the low level energy that we have been dealing with in this country. I have been seeing this in several visions. One is a mist that kind of comes over the valley, but in the midst, it nourishes every plant, and it waters and nourishes every small insect and animal as it passes over. These are one of the visions that I've been getting. And so as it comes out, and as the fog lifts, as it naturally does in the world, the crisp, wonderful sunshine comes through, and it starts to illuminate all the beauty that is here for us to enjoy. This is one of my major predictions that I have had a vision over. So this is my unique way of doing this, is that I have been meditating for a little while. I've asked the universe to show me things, to see what I have, and that was one of the things. So stay tuned, there's a little bit more. Well, so I hope that everybody had a wonderful New Year's. I myself stayed at home. I had a friend come over. It was delightful. Calm, cool, collective, no drunks, all of that good stuff. It was just, that easement into the new year was a delight. So I hope everybody had a great and safe one. However, I'm going to give you an update of my niece right here.
New details tonight about a recent murder-suicide in the Larson Ranch subdivision.
In addition to learning the names of the 2 women killed, we're getting better understanding of what led up to that tragic shooting. Good evening. I'm Josh Helmuth and for Bart Betzel.
And I'm Heather Skold. Thanks for joining us. We now know the names of the 3 people who died in a murder-suicide last week in the Larson Ranch area.
Tonight, the sheriff's office is confirming that one of the victims was splitting up with the suspect and had asked for help from the sheriff's office the day before she was killed. KRDO's Spencer Soysher is live in our newsroom right now with more on what investigators are saying tonight. Spencer.
Josh and Heather, the sheriff's office has confirmed that Vanessa Anderson called the sheriff's office to ask for an escort while moving out, worried that there could be trouble as she went to get her stuff from the house that she lived in with the suspect, Wilmer Soto. But because there was no imminent evidence or a previous threat, an escort would have been required by a judge's order. She went there anyway a day afterwards. It's a mistake that could have ultimately led to tragedy. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office has released the names of the 3 people who died in a double murder-suicide in unincorporated El Paso County, December 19th. The Sheriff's Office says 27-year-old Vanessa Anderson and her friend, 26-year-old Autumn Kirkpatrick, were shot and killed by Anderson's ex-boyfriend, Wilmer Soto. A spokesperson for the Sheriff's Office confirms to KRDO that Anderson called their non-emergency line the day before she was reportedly murdered. That spokesperson also confirms that Anderson asked for a law enforcement escort the day before the shooting to help her move her things out of the house she lived in with Soto. The sheriff's office declined, telling her that by law she would need a keep the peace order from a judge, which would allow a deputy to be present as she returned to the home. But the next day she went to the house without that order, where her worst fears came to fruition.
At this time, it looks like 10 or more shots have been fired. All units, there should be 2 females inside the residence with the male suspect.
When the sheriff's office arrived at that home in Larson Ranch, they quickly found themselves dealing with a barricaded suspect.
Boyfriend, Wilmer Soto, 1121 of 89, Hispanic male.
Thursday, the sheriff's office formally announced that all evidence points to Wilmer Soto carrying out 2 murders before killing himself. Court records show that Soto had a relatively clean record. However, his ex-wife had previously been granted a protection order against him, citing domestic abuse. That was dismissed about a year after it was issued. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Spencer Soisher for KRDO News Channel 13.
Yeah, that's still in here. Kind of breaks my heart, and I can only imagine what my family is really going through and how they're feeling. All right, so I know that most of you, a lot of you, because I can see the numbers, have already saw the little short video that I posted prior to this one. If you haven't, go watch it. And if you haven't watched it, share it. If you watched it, share it. Get this out into the ethers, to the far reaches of the world. And the reason why is because she literally dismantles and separates Christianity with white supremacy and white Christian nationalism. She rips it apart, and I think we need to get that information out as much and as possible, so that when we are confronted with the mega, we have an answer for them. This is what we need to definitely carry with us as answers and rebuttals and the right information, the truth, and we can post it to them and say, hey, you can't do that to us anymore. We're going to start confronting the bullies, and we're going to start rejecting their advancement. I think that's important in this world. It brings me to another vision that I've had with all of this meditation and going forward. I do see abandoned churches. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad, but I see the abandonment of churches. Like, I'm seeing birds flying around in the top. I see the pews with dust on them. I see the statues being vandalized. It's a sad scene. It really is. However, it's a momentum that is carried out in this country. If we do not separate this, we do not get that out. I mean, there's still time to save the true, pure Christian ideology out there. If you really, really like that thought process to get to your higher power, there's nothing wrong with that. In order to save that, I think we need to really start separating this Christian nationalism and start speaking about it as much as possible. If not, that will come true. All of the churches just in disarray. I mean, I see a hole in a church roof. I see the church just, I mean, I look at these churches, I'm looking at these, they're just so destroyed, is what I guess a better word for that. And that is what I see for the future, especially in this year. If we do not start separating and start talking that. So yeah, that's another vision that I see with that. Okay, so here's another weird thing. Something strange keeps on coming into my visions. I see a plane. You know how on Star Trek, the Romulans had cloaking devices?
A lot of ionizing radiation in this system, Captain. That and the amount of sheer rock is going to slow down our search a little.
How slow?
I'd say at least...
Sir, Romulan warbird decloaking directly ahead.
Right? I've always said, if you watch Star Trek, it's probably our future goals. Like, we're really striving to be Star Trek in the future. And I see a plane and I see it disappear in the sky. Like, is this a cloaking device that they literally are working on? I tried Google it, and all it has in there is like a possibility. There's a might, there's this, that, and the other, but I see it happening. I see planes going into cloaking devices. I don't know how they would do that. I am not a scientist. I don't have that kind of a mind. But I see it as a vision. Okay, so here's another vision that has come to me. It has to do with the children. It has to do with the children and their learning. It has to do with the children who are coming to this earth, who are already higherly energetic, more woke than we are at this point in time, and them having to create, I don't know if it's new schools or revamping our schools in order to teach them. Because, okay, so I'm trying to figure out what the exact vision. The exact vision is that these children are coming in and the teachers are realizing that their curriculum is not touching them. Like, they are so far beyond what we have offered them that they have to revamp, they have to redo or create new schools to teach them, because they're so advanced in their thinking. And I have seen that. I saw that in the last week that I was doing some meditation and some asking about that the children are coming in, and the children that are coming in to all of this, that their eyes are like wide open, right? They are concentrating on the environment. They're concentrating on people. It's almost like like they've all been assigned to a woke ideology already before they even came down to this earth. And us as humans are starting to notice that we have to teach them differently. I thought that was great and wonderful stuff. So I do feel that in deep down in my soul about the new children that are coming to this earth right here, right now. Okay, so there's another vision that I have seen. So you know how back in the day, everybody would buy something from Italy and it is just prized in their home, right? They're like, I got this from Italy, right? That was like a bragging point in their home, or a statue or whatever it was. I see that going away. I see that like antiques losing its value. It's almost like people were like, that's just a thing. That's just nothing. You know what I mean? It's losing its value in the practicality in our lives, the practicality in the future, that such a prized possession from another country is diminishing in its value. In other words, what I'm trying to say is we're moving completely away from physical things, and we're starting to value what's inside. What are we thinking? The values are shifting. It's not important to have a statue from Greece in your front yard anymore, more than it's more important to have a garden in your front yard. You know what I mean? Let's plant food to feed everyone. We have the capability of it. Stop trying to complain about how expensive a tomato is in the store when you can plant it in your backyard for a whole summer and have them for free. You know what I mean? That whole ideology is really shifting. And I'm seeing that a lot more. Like, I truly believe that we all can contribute. One plant of food that you could put on your porch, backyard, front yard, wherever, right? Even in your own home, you can plant something, that you can produce food. Will start shoving back all of this, the people who are trying to make so much more money than they should at producing what we could already provide for ourselves. I mean, I see all of that happening. And not only that, us going back to making our own clothes, going back to making our own fabrics, going back to, and trying to literally reduce the waste in this country. I see that coming up slowly but surely as an acceptance, as a reality. We are no longer going to value stuff. So I'm excited about that one. boy, did I get a vision about the tarot card community. Boy, did I get a vision about the value that this country is going to start putting onto us. It's almost like the shifting of everybody who wanted to really ignore us, dispose of us, get rid of us, all of that fear mongering around it. I see a vision. It's almost like a panel. It's almost like being paid. I see employment of our kind, of the tarot card community and the remote viewing and the psychics of this world, say more importantly in the police department, right? We're going to be valued versus I'm going to contact this psychic and I don't want nobody to know. It's going to be more empowering. And I see that in employment for some reason. I don't know how. In my vision, it doesn't give me a direction. I'm thinking probably police. I'm thinking probably companies who need somebody to interpret. You be just being in a meeting and interpreting everybody's feelings and emotions is going to be valuable to a company. And I see that come into fruition. I see in that they're, because of the children are coming into this world, they are already moving that energy and moving that thinking all the way into the future, where it's going to be a career beyond what we create as on YouTube or whatever. So that's exciting as well. Here's another vision that I saw for the political arena and around Trump. And I don't know why this is. It's almost like, so Trump is here and the department is going after everybody around him. It's almost like they're trying to rip away his support system. If you are involved with Trump, we will put you in jail. And for some reason, that is really strong. They're inching their way towards Trump, but they're giving a strong, strong message. Stop supporting him. Stop getting involved. Stop helping him, because we're going to come after you. And that cripples Trump and all of his movements. It cripples him. So that is also something that keeps on coming up with me. Okay, so as those who have been following me for quite some time remember that I had that prediction of the earthquakes in Northern California for a little while. I was even going, maybe it's not going to happen, but here we are, right? Of everything in the Northern California, of the prediction of the plates switching. So there's already been 2. Okay, so as I'm watching this and as I'm walking through that, it feels like there's going to be at least 2 more big ones and possible a bunch of small ones. And I know that that's exactly how earthquakes go. You know, one goes and then it rumbles for a while. But it feels like it's not going to settle. It's like I see months and months. It's not going to settle for a while. And there is something underneath that I don't understand, and I don't know what it is, because it comes up as black, and it's not oil, because I've asked, is it oil? But it's like a black something there. You know what I mean? I look at it and everything's look good, and there's like something black underneath there that is either doing it or is involved in it or something along that lines. I wish I had a better language of like earthquakes and stuff like that to articulate what I'm trying to say, but I have a feeling in the near future they're going to explain a lot. Maybe it's water, maybe it's black water, maybe it's something very liquidy and almost gassy that is in there that for some reason showed up. It just showed up from somewhere, whatever this earth is doing. and it's like a bubble that it's like moving underneath it. Sorry. I hope you understand. Maybe somebody out there that has the education of earthquakes understands what I'm trying to say and what I am seeing. So I do see 2 more bigger ones and a whole bunch of little ones for a little while. So yeah. Okay, that's pretty much all the ones that I have right now. I hope you enjoyed this. I didn't want to make it a huge long one, but yeah, I am excited about the new year. I am excited about what is going to come. I'm excited about all of the movements and everything that that has happening in the political arena. All the things that me and lots of other readers have predicted for quite some time. It is finally coming to fruition. It's finally percolated, and it's here. And I'm always excited about watching another development in who's getting arrested and who is being held accountable and who's being more exposed. We were all right on the Republican Party and Trump, all right. The moment we started throwing cards on that man, the evilness, the deception, the lying, the deceit has all been there. And evidence is mounting against him. So I leave you with this: accountability and enlightenment for the 2023 year is absolutely what we're going to start witnessing. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you for always joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye.